Hello, crypto fans from around the world. It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another market review. And this review, like some of the previous ones in the past, it's going to be sprinkled with a little bit of bearish sentiment because we just can't seem to keep the buying alive for a long-term play. And as my last reviews have been, your two time frames, if you are bullish, is going to be very long-term or super fast. And that's really it. So like intermediate swing trading is probably out. You're doing hours to days or years is most likely, if you're bullish right now, that's probably the best play. And we can see what happened. Bitcoin did post a little bit of a double bottom and got it closed above the neckline, just ran into the 100, formed a pennant pattern, and then pooped his pants. So Bitcoin down to 63.80 right now. Here's the weekly. And of course, you still have the nice 100 symbol that might act as a support. A lot of people are hoping that it does, and it probably will, even if it's just for a short period of time. But realistically, if we break this support, things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And keep in mind, as I mentioned before, if you trade on the proper exchange, you do have the ability to short, right, or go play it on the downside. So if that breaks, that's going to be something you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled for. But realistically, I mean, we could easily trade back down to the support and bounce, right? So again, if you're playing it quickly, that's totally fine. You can make some good money in some quick trades, but you are going to have to be very fast, almost regardless of which coin you're playing. So Litecoin, same thing, pretty strong downtrend right now. Here's the weekly, and we're just chopping around. We're just accumulating. If you're going to find any trade, again, you're probably going to be zooming in to hourly charts, 15-minute charts. What I can say is I really do like this double bottom on Litecoin. I do like the close, and today could be the retest. I mean, we could just be a really deep retest of these necklines. So if tomorrow or the next day we get some good buying, that is a strong signal, and that would be, you know, well deserved and well received. But I would say this candle that we're getting on the 25th of September will really be the one that you go, all right, we're here. It needs a break above the high of today's candle specifically, and at some point close above the high of today's candle. And if we can get that, then I think there is some fortitude for a possible move higher. There are some coins that show a little bit of strength out there, just relative. Dash, kind of one of them, was one of them until it hit the 100 and then just absolutely dive bombed. So the 100 stopping Dash in its tracks, at least for now. Still a very pretty pennant pattern, a little bit of a triangle, but this could break down and probably will. And I actually think that we could see both Ethereum and Dash into double digits, potentially. I'm not saying it will happen, but I think it certainly could. So yeah, the trend just as of right now looks weak. The strongest crypto, I think, is probably Stellar Lumens, and even it itself has had a little bit of discrepancies, some bears out there. But I mean, on a weekly chart, this is the US dollar, you can see it's still holding up pretty strong, and you are still well above where it was back last year. And many of the coins aren't, but Bitcoin is, Stellar Lumen is. There's a few others, but that does show a lot of strength in my opinion. So a little bit of a pullback today, to say the least, on Stellar, trade into the 100 simple, which is 22.8308, and a good amount of volume, decent little chunk coming in, but I do like that strength overall. And Monero is kind of on the strong side. Here's XMR. So Monero is still above where it was, you know, this time last year, but just barely. So we're looking at a little bit of a higher low on Monero. So you see this pink line. Let me redraw that a little bit straighter. And something like this. And so we did close above the long-term 100 simple. We've retested. Today's candle could be a really good candle. Not on just Monero, but really just the crypto market in general. If we can, or if we do get a bounce off of this support and a close above this resistance, a good move out of here would be really well received. I feel like if we look at a weekly chart and kind of notice a little bit of a support here at about 87, There is some support. We have kind of broken that downward trend line. I'm just looking at this support resistance as a really key level, and most likely we'll still probably see some lower lows on some coins, and the ones that are the strongest are going to be the ones that, if they last, will be the ones that will have the opportunity to take advantage of some killer strong moves, probably in late 2019, early 2020. So the time frames are still out. Still plenty of opportunities to learn, to figure out the solutions, find really great solutions that are coming out of this blockchain era, and really find yourselves some strong winners. There was a few others that we could look at. Here's 0x protocol, ZX, and this is on Bitcoin, and this is the weekly, and here's the daily. At this particular moment, we're just mostly chopping around, not a whole lot going on out there, but a little bit of good volume spike on 0x. And here's Zcash, ZCASH. So if we go to Zcash, Bitcoin, and look at this, again, pretty relatively strong hammer. It is bouncing off of a support. We can see that support is there. And again, just remember, you can find opportunities in this market for bull moves, no question. It all is going to boil down to time frame. And speaking of, Ripple, wow, just out of nowhere, here's XRP USD, and Ripple just rocketed up real fast. And this was pretty hard to catch. You'd have had to seen it on the 18th of September, and then on the 19th you had this really nice inside candle, and your entry would have had to been probably 33, 34 cents, you could call it. And when that broke higher, even most aggressive bull traders, you're probably selling around 55, which is at 200. Not a lot of traders holding on through this. Most of this upper shadow is from people who've had Ripple in the past or bought it, somewhere in this general range over here, and were able to get out for a small gain or something when that pop occurred. But yeah, realistically, quick pop, flash in the pan. We're retracing. The big question is, how far will the retrace be? And what I can say almost without question is, if we do truly take out the low of this candle that got in last week on Ripple, if we take out that low, it to me is unquestionable that we will go lower, actually lower than we've ever gone before. Because this buying, we really should stabilize with that kind of buying coming in. So keep your eyes on Ripple. As wild as it sounds, I'm not saying it's the strongest coin by any means, but it is the one with the most bullish volume and the most buying presently. So I'm kind of looking for something like this. I'm going to zoom in on some hourly charts on Ripple and see if we can start finding a good bounce to catch. So here's the hourly, and the risk reward is going to be small, but here's your 200 and on Ripple. And if we can break out of here and really run forward, that would be, I think, really key, really fun. So we're going to keep a real close eye on Ripple pretty much right now. And if it starts taking out that support, that's fine. But this is a good level for it to potentially bounce off of, that 200 simple on an hourly. And we'll get to see if that S-curve and that retracement does kind of complete and Ripple starts to get a little bit of a bounce. Here's your moving averages on the daily, and we're pulling right into the 10 EMA on the daily. That's kind of a key price. And then here's the weekly. So at one point, if I hide the drawings, we did close last week above all moving averages. It'll be fun to see if this holds up. I am watching it, but like I mentioned, probably will continue a little bit lower on most coins, and how long that will happen, I'm not entirely sure, but it will be a long-term approach in my opinion. All right, team, that about does it for me. Thanks so much for watching this review. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you all with another one next week. And until then, love, live, learn. You all rock. Bye.